Hey my loves, welcome back to our channel. We are here again with another episode of Married at First Sight on a new day. Okay? We're trying to get more into our rhythm, into our schedule, and we are back to speak about all things Married at First Sight. So if you're new to our channel, I'm Zar, okay? And I have a channel by myself that's Zar Galore that you guys should check out as well. And this is Joe, my beautiful fiance, who
What?
is one half of the backstage. Tell the people about yourself, child.
I mean, y'all know who I am by now. I do a lot of stuff, so.
So we are back talking about all things Married at First Sight, season 6, and I figure the way we'll do this one is just to go through and talk about the couples or whatever the case may be, because I felt like they had a lot of development this week. So we'll start with Clara and Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Why you say it like that?
All right.
Oh, okay. You unenthusiastic about them?
No, they the easiest one. So
that's what I'm saying. I figure we go easiest to Chris and Paige. You know
what
I mean?
Yeah.
I figure we go easiest to Chris and Paige. So they did speak about their dating styles to one another, and it came up with Clara that Ryan had never told anybody that he loved loved them, and she is one of those people who loves everybody.
Yeah.
And I am kind of like, I do kind of take pause with the fact, and I said this earlier, and you guys know, with the fact that he has never been in love. What do you think about
it's really a non-issue. I mean, he just hasn't been. Not everybody is. Love is not a guaranteed thing that everybody's going to go through, like taxes and death. And we got to get out of the mindset that it is, right? So somebody not being in love, especially at this stage in his life, it's not alarming or surprising. You know what I mean? Like, love does not come easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's not really,
That's true. But I do think that, like, he has a lot of what I feel are. She has that red flag, but I think he has red flags as well. Like, he believes that she's a little too forthright with her actual feelings. Does that make sense? Like, she doesn't have a filter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And he was right. Like, when he told her pretty much, like, you need to watch your mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was right. Because she got a spirit of Karen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was a running theme of the day on the show. Because it was what's her name?
Virginia.
Virginia had a spirit of Karen. Yeah. And so did Clara.
Clara, yeah.
And he spoke to her about it and told her, like, you got to watch your mouth, putting your mouth on everybody's business and saying things. It was for her and Virginia to go up to Eric, and we'll get to that conversation, but for on her side of things, for them to go up and start talking about how, if that was me, I would have left you a long time ago. Like, where's the conversation supposed to go after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, just these are things that you can think, but you should definitely not put your mouth on, especially when it's not, you don't even know this person. Like, it's not your homie, it's not your friend, like, y'all not, like, acquaintances.
Yeah.
You've been around this person for about 2 weeks at this point. So Ryan was right in that situation.
But talking about Virginia, Joe brought up Virginia, we can move on to Eric and Virginia. I did think that Clara did give Virginia really good advice. So Virginia and Eric had a conversation about having male friends. And for some odd reason, and this could also be attributed to her only being married for 3 or 4 days, right? Because it's not, like, to me, it's odd that you fighting for your friends more than you fighting for your man. Like,
but it's nothing even a fight for yet. She was in the joint. She was in the scene crying and stuff and all that. Like, it's nothing.
It wasn't that deep.
It's nothing happened that made it that deep. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But I do feel like the way that Clara told her, like, maybe y'all have to hang out in a group setting, and that'll help him get more acclimated to you having male friends, and they can become his friends. And
of course, because he doesn't know your friends, because he barely knows you.
Because he doesn't know you.
So this shouldn't be a hard concept. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think she's a little too married to... People will say they want something, right? I had a conversation with my girlfriend one time, and we were talking about, like, wanting to be with somebody and have a spouse. And I just asked her straight up. And this was a question for her, not for me to be, like, shading her. But, like, do you think you exude that? Like, is that what the energy that you think you put out? That you want to be a spouse? You know what I mean? And I think that she might have said out her mouth that this was something that she wanted to do, but I don't think that the energy is aligned with that.
100%. I mean, a lot of times people are confused as to how and why they end up in the situations they end up in, right? And most of the time, you're just bringing in what you put out, right?
Absolutely. That's funny. I said that to you too.
What?
The same thing about like we were having a conversation about how you were you always find yourself in relationships, and I'm like, do you think you put out the energy
right? Like
that
even
you
when
don't want to be in a relationship?
And that's the thing, and I don't. It's funny.
Right.
Like I don't. I had a conversation with my sister about this, about a guy that she was dealing with, and she was saying, I don't know if I feel like I'm getting mixed messages because he. Seems like when he's around, he everything. It seems like we're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Even though verbally he said like, that's really not what he's looking for. And sometimes that's what you put out, right? You put out that, So even when in my past when I wasn't looking for a relationship, I always ended up with somebody who wanted to be, who was like, well, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Even when my verbiage was very clear that like that's not what I'm looking for, right? But the same goes for people who are on the opposite end of the spectrum, right? A lot of times, if you keep getting fuck boys, it's because you putting out fuck boy vibes. You know what I'm saying?
You putting out and you are 1,000% right. I tell people all the time, I've been so blessed with the people that I've been able to date. I've dated
some of them.
I've dated most of them. I mean, all but maybe one have been like fantastic.
Or two or three.
Nope, just one have been fantastic human beings that I think are like amazing, upstanding individuals.
But you don't put out fuck. The point is you don't put out that
that's what I'm getting at.
You know what
I don't put out that energy. So when people talk about the shit that they be going through, I'm like, where do y'all meet these motherfuckers at? Like, it's weird, but it's all about what you put out and setting up boundaries, which I think. And Eric might not be doing. I think that's a big part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people will be in your space and be like, we together when we together. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, but they've already established a boundary in their mind, that when they leave their door or when you leave their door, y'all ain't together.
Right.
And I think that what Eric is trying to do, bringing this back to Eric and Virginia, what Eric is trying to do with Virginia is establish boundaries, because he could see that she got the spirit of hoe right up in here.
Oh yeah.
You know how you got your good devil and your bad. You got
it's
your angel and your devil. She got a hoe
and we
right up
there.
in here, and she all ding 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 ding, and she said it herself. She was mildly promiscuous, whatever the hell that means.
She was very clear. What I do on the weekends is I sleeps around and I bar hops.
Right.
And it was very clear about that. And so he was trying to establish, like, okay, I'm not really, like, that's not about to be the vibe.
Especially after he was drunk all day.
Especially if he was trying to keep up for the past couple weeks or days. You know what I'm saying?
It was sad to watch.
Which that was part of why they were so in this euphoria where everything was great and everything. Because you putting on this BS persona that you down to do all of this stuff. And then finally you was too drunk for the umpteenth time, and you was like, you know what, I can't do this. Like, this is not
I'm
me.
Because
I knew it wasn't you. Like, I thought the whole time Eric was talking about how great they were. I thought it was phony the whole time.
And
I thought it was phony the whole entire time.
It was phony the whole entire time. Like, we got to be clear about that. People have a real hard time showing up in their truth because it just don't hit their ears right. Because the narrative that they've created in their mind is not aligned with what is actually going on in reality.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But one thing, that's what I kind of like about Virginia, though. As drunk and pissy and just a nasty, just trashy that I think she is, her redeeming quality to me is that she is honest. Like, you know what I mean? She called herself mildly promiscuous. Ain't nobody else had to say that to her. Mm-hmm. She said she a drinker. Okay? Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody had to, even though Chris said it to her, it didn't mean she to her because she living her truth. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even when they asked how's it going, and she was like, we had some tiffs. Mm-hmm. That to me is living honestly. I do think she is an alcoholic and she has yet to get there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or she's just young. I don't know. But I just think that I appreciate her authenticity. Mm-hmm. I really do. And I think that it's going to work on Eric. But also, Eric is a Republican. and they live to be fake.
Yeah,
They will be against homosexuality and sucking dick on the weekends. Okay, they will be against abortion, but they side chick is pregnant. They will be against handouts and everything like that, and will give tax breaks to the top 56 families and nobody else. But they can make money, but nobody else. It's socialism up there, but not down here. They could do all of that and still be reconciled with their lives. So I get why he fake. And look at his mama. His mother gives Stepford.
Oh, I don't remember his mom.
Well, she was forgettable.
Yeah. I remember his mom.
But he was giving real Denzel on Flight. Y'all remember when
Denzel? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was.
Nasty Scott.
Every time he was on camera, he was, because he trying to keep up with her. And I said to you, I don't think I said on here, but I think I said it to you, like, this is not going to last. He's not going. This can't be cute. This is only cute for a little while, and then you go, all right, like, this ain't fun no more. I'm a grown ass man.
Right. No, like a big grown. Like, I'm big old. Like, period. You know what I mean? So let's talk about Brianna and Vincent. I actually their luster is wearing off as well. Which I
also called. Everything I said earlier, let's just make it down and mark it right now, is coming home to roost, and they next in line. Because I told y'all that they was another one. Everything is perfect. He's my perfect person and all this other stuff after 2 hours of knowing him. I said that was going to come home to roost too, and now it is.
Y'all, I don't know what wine this is. It is so good.
So off topic.
I know, I'm sorry, but I went to the Bevmo, and you know they got the buy one, get one for 5 cents. So I'll be going in there, Virginia style, grabbing all the bottles. Okay. Then I came home with a box of alcohol.
Yes.
And this wine, oh my God, I'm going to find out what it is. Joe poured it for me, so I don't know. But it's good. It's so good. It's a Riesling, though. I know that.
No, it's a Moscato.
Oh, it's a Moscato?
Yeah, that's why it's so sweet. Well, we way off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got to get right back.
Sorry. Okay, we were talking about Brianna and Vincent, and they're wearing off. And the problem is I understand Brianna, right? She's bossy because she got to be bossy at work. But I was thinking, and I rewatched the show. Me and Joe watched it together, and we talked mess the whole time. And then I watched it again, like, by myself. And I was thinking, had her family not called her bossy, do you think he would have the
100%? I don't even know that he I don't even know he remembered that. Like, this is a part of her. We've all been around people who you can tell who they are, whether you like it or not. You can kind of tell, like, that's their vibe, right?
Yeah.
And she, from the jump, you could kind of tell, like, that's her vibe. Like, her vibe is, I'm gonna be bossy, I might nag, I might do this, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be very straightforward. Like, that's her vibe. Love it or hate it, you kind of got that from the beginning, that was her vibe. My thing was, everything was so cool on his side of the fence, because it was his representative, and I kind of had a vibe
because he low-key want a backhander
straight up, because he tired of it and it's wearing on him. You know what I'm saying?
Not
because
that we're promoting abuse.
That's not no, not at all. But that's not his vibe. That's not his vibe. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of wearing on him, and you can see it little by little. And also on the same side of things, he might have a temper issue that. He
seems a little bit impatient to me.
He will snap. He's gonna snap. He Latin too. He gonna snap. He fiery. Okay.
He seems quiet, but he does seem. That was a stereotype.
Yeah. Listen.
He seems quiet.
They my cousins. I've been around enough of them to know that most of them is firecrackers. You know what I'm saying? Girls and guys.
Oh my God.
So this whole Rico Suave, I don't raise my voice thing that he putting on is, again, another representative. Like, we gotta get used to everything we've been seeing, y'all, is a bunch of representatives, and I think now we're gonna get into the real versions of people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that makes sense, because when you're around somebody, like, in real life, it probably takes about like 8 to 10 dates, right, to lose.
Yeah.
Right? But because you're with this person 24 hours, you're kind of in your
It's going to happen faster.
It's happening faster.
It's going to happen faster. But they also overcompensated too fast. It was day 2, and everybody is perfect. So I can't believe if I had to draw up my perfect man, it would be him.
But
wow.
do you think
How do you know that? Like, you just met him. How do you know he's the
couldn't believe that. But you know
she said it multiple times.
But you know what it is for me? It solidifies for me why y'all had to go through this process. Because
it
ain't no way in the world. If I had to create my perfect man, would Joe probably be like, in my mind? But you would be like, if I could get everything to move
I'm it. Let me tell you right now.
I mean, babe, you real, like, I'm thinking about all the things I want. You do kind of check every box. But I'm saying, like, damn, like, maybe, I don't know, like, I think it's too soon. I could say that about him now.
Yeah, like
I mean, and we almost 2 decades in.
Yeah, a week is definitely
say that about nobody, like
that you don't know their temperament. You don't like Brianna. Brianna's another one who started out. He's perfect. I can't believe it, right? Brianna, you're about to find out his temperament. You know what I'm saying? He's a quiet storm. He's coming across to me as a quiet storm. Like, yeah, I'm super nice and reserved and
But she's coming across to me,
and then I'll go straight spicy,
exactly what he's saying,
spicy on you when I want to, and you're about to find that out. But you was gung ho that you just knew who he was 72 hours after knowing him, and that was my thing with the intimacy and everything. I just felt like they was moving too fast.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just didn't like. So they were sitting in the bed and they were talking about like how the day was going. He didn't want to tell her, which he probably should have. She asked him, "Well, did I bother you today?" Which to me, it was a check-in, a safe space, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. And he just was like, he didn't want to mess up the moment, right? So she turned around and said, "Well, you annoyed me today." And I kind of felt like, I felt two ways. The therapy goer in me felt like, I'm glad she's saying how she feel about the situation. But the other part of me was like, when it always fascinates me how people will contribute to a problem and then let you know that you're the problem. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? And my thing is like, there is a way. I do believe that you should be open and honest with your spouse and everything like that. But I also believe that there's a way to get across. And I ask you that from time to time, like, am I getting on your nerves? But I do think it's a way to come across that doesn't feel like, oh, well, you get on my nerves. It felt real like, like, you know what I mean, to me. And she might not have been saying it that way, but I received it like, oh, when the cameras go out, I'm going to air you the fuck out. Yes. Because you're trying my spirit. You know what I mean? Like, because that was unnecessary. Because you could have just said we had a trying day. If me and Joe have an argument, it's a we thing. He could have acted a fool. I could have acted a fool. But I'll be like, you know what? We got to do better next time. Whatever the case may be. And again, that's experience over this. This is novice for a lot of them. But I just felt like that was kind of like egging him on.
Oh, yeah, it was. And it was a little immature. But like you said, it was a little bit of like, all right, well, you got on my nerves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
or like he got to do everything you want him to do how you want him to do it. You'll be with nobody.
Which is kind of why she's on the show, because that's the vibe that I get from her, is what I'm saying. I get that vibe from her, that like that kind of controlling, kind of bossy, like my way or the highway type of vibe, kind of pushy type of vibe. I got that from her like very early on.
Yeah, I just wasn't. I love her. Don't get it messed up. I really think she's amazing. She's Black Girl Magic, all those things. But I just want her to be open to the fact that people are different from her. And they're not going to pick up the soap off the floor. Or they not. Sometimes I put my shoes right in front of the
Right in front of the shoe.
Right in front of the shoe rack.
Shoe rack.
And he could air me. And I do it just about every day. And it's like a thing that's kind of unconscious, I guess. And I know it makes him annoyed.
It makes me crazy.
But he does
it's like going to a closet with your clothes on the hanger and laying the hanger on the floor in front of the closet. It's almost like, is this a trick? Like, is this the Matrix? Like, is somebody?
But he knows that I'm not doing it to be malicious. It's just genuinely my thought process. That's like, wild. I'm doing 50 million things at once. I'm taking my shoes off. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So he'll just put them up there. But even though he would not do it that way, he's not going to, like, it annoys him. And I know, and I'm trying. But I just don't. He doesn't make it a thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Brianna
she's going to make everything a thing.
She's going to make everything a thing. I think she's that's because not only is it kind of her personality, but she seems like she hasn't been in a space with a man in a while, and she doesn't really have the finesse yet.
Talking about not having finesse, let's talk about Jacob and Haley, which I thought they were going to be a lot more boring than they've been. He gave me a lot.
They're pretty boring.
No, they're pretty boring, but as far as seeing grown, and this sounds bad, Joe, not that all these people are juvenile because they haven't had real relationships. Don't get on me. I'm just saying he seems very sound in who he is. And he can read 40. A room very. But we can't pretend like it's not a population.
No, you're right. No, you're right. I'm just talking about him. Like, yeah, because of the age bracket he's in.
But either way, he seems very sound in who he is, and I even appreciate.
I'm saying he should be because he's 40.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But he was talking about his relationship with Haley and how he was worried about hanging out with her friends because she had so many of them. And I was thinking, like, first of all, I don't know that she likes you all like that.
She clearly doesn't because she went down to hang out with people and lied to you about it so you wouldn't come. But that's beside the point. The point is that
she's childish.
The point is,
but is she, or is she just inexperienced?
No, she's just in a different place in life. This is another thing that we said was coming home to roost. She's just in a different place in life, and now their juxtaposition as far as their lifestyles and everything like that is.
But what do you think her different place in life has to do with how
she wants to go out? She's more social. He's like, I'm trying to Netflix and chill. I know you go out with all these people. You got all these. I don't even have that many friends because as you get older, your circle gets smaller. True. That's the place that he's in life. You know what I'm saying? I said this last week. He's where he's supposed to be in life. Also, so is she, right? She wants to go out. She wants to explore. She got a lot of friends. She got a lot of thoughts. She want to do this, that, and the third. He's not in that place. And I think now, when the representatives are washing away, now we start to see the things that are really annoying them. What's annoying her is the place in life that he is, the age gap, the lack of adventure, the lack of adventure in him, the kind of monotone, kind of laissez-faire vibe about him. Like that's not her vibe.
The issue I'm having with this, the way that you're taking this, is that one, I don't want to be ageist. We can't pretend like women.
I'm not being ageist. I say he's where he's supposed to be. I didn't say it was something wrong with him being an older man.
But I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, I feel like she's giving off an ageist spirit. Because if we're speaking about her not liking him because of his age, I feel like most women.
I didn't say because of his age, because of where she is. Like you want somebody to be where you are, kind of where you are. Not only the discrepancy between them, I think, has to do with age. But I think the issue is not having somebody where you are, right? Where you are in that point in life, right? Like at this point in life, I enjoy being at home and cooking and going to cute little eateries. She does also, right? If she was 20 years younger, that might not be her vibe. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything against, her as a person or her age group. It might be another 20-year-old who feels the same way that I feel, right? But the 20-year-old that does want to go out and rip and run is more common. And so I'm just saying that it's more common that she is at her age is where she is, and he is at his age where he is.
I'm saying that you're not wrong, but she has yet to say that his age is the issue.
She don't have to say it to me.
But my thing is, I want to know.
She's not gonna say it.
I want to know why she actually doesn't like him. But that's why I like him, because he asks very pointed questions. He said, we were intimate. I felt like after we were intimate, you started to pull back. I just want to know, is there anything I can do? What can I do? And you could see her getting flustered
because she doesn't know how to communicate the conversation,
like that yet. By the work. And he wasn't even coming at her.
No.
He was asking real questions so he could show up in a better space. And then she was just like, well, I'm just used to being independent. I hate bitches who say stuff like that. I'm just used to being independent and not having to be beholden to nobody, and I'm just not the clingy type.
Because that's where she is. That's what I'm saying. We saying is that's where she is in life. He was married before.
I don't disagree. No, he wasn't married before.
He wasn't?
No, Eric was married before.
Oh, that's right, Eric. But no. I'm saying, but I'm saying the point is that I'm sure he's had many serious relationships before at his age. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why he communicates the way he does, right?
But because
he's had to before.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. I just think that I don't want to give her an excuse. I'm waiting for her to come to the table with the excuse.
It's not an excuse to me. It's a prediction. Like we said in week 1 and said they're going to have an issue because of these things. Especially because in the first conversation, she said, I love to travel. I love to go out. I love to do this. I love to do that. And he was like, I'm not into that.
Yeah. So, and his friends was laughing.
And his friends told her at the wedding, that's not his vibe. But when I'm saying I'm talking about age, it's because it was a very, very easy chalk, what we call chalk in sports. It was a very chalk prediction to say they're going to have issues because of that.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't disagree. I just feel like I think I don't want to give. I think I don't want to give her like, not that she's listening could change whatever happened, but I don't want to give her an excuse. She could be listening, right? I don't want to give her an excuse, and then she could backpedal and pussy pop on that. That's not what I want to do. Like, if you're unattracted to him, say you're unattracted to him. If his Peter was too small for you and you guys were intimate, say that. Like, don't make it like, my thing is like, because what is the issue? It's too ambiguous for me.
So nobody is at the place yet, going back to representatives, right? Nobody is saying their truth yet. Because
Chris said she wasn't good looking.
Chris is an anomaly. Nobody is saying their truth yet because everybody's still in their representatives, right? And so I think we're going towards that because we're going to see the counselors come in.
Yeah.
Because she probably in reality doesn't even know why she's turned off by him yet. She clearly is not a great communicator, so she's not going to sit at a confessional and spill it, right?
True,
and so
true.
Once they get to speaking to the professionals and speaking to Pastor Kyle and Dr. Pepper, I think the things that we have been predicting will come out. And will come out in clear English. Sense. But right now, everybody is bullshitting and faking, except for Chris. Everybody is faking the funk. Nobody had any issues until today, until this episode, right? Everything was perfect, except for Chris. And we've taken Chris and Paige and putting them to the side. Nobody had any issues. Everybody was in love. Everybody was attracted to each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. We saw these issues coming because we saw the age gap with Haley and Jacob, the age gap with Virginia and Eric, the juxtaposition in lifestyles and how both of them want to go out. The ladies want to go out and rip and run. Both of the guys is not in that place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we saw these things happening, and I don't think anybody is in a position yet where they really gonna be speaking their truth and giving a real tea as to why they not feeling the other person.
So before we get into Chris and Paige, I want to talk about the group dates that they had. So first I want to talk about how the guy sat down and talked, and drunk Eric said to sober Chris, or relatively sober Chris, which also, stop shaming Eric for being drunk on his honeymoon. Who ain't drunk when they on vacation?
Eric is being shamed because Eric is pump faking. Eric is trying to keep up with this young thing that he's with.
But that's not what they said. They said was, you doing a little too much.
Well, he is, because he's sloppy drunk. Nobody want to be around a sloppy drunk.
But my thing is, why he on his honeymoon? When can he be a sloppy drunk?
Nobody. Not in a group. It's setting. Not cute. It's especially in a group setting. Nobody want to be around that person. Nobody want to be around somebody who can't hold their liquor. Period.
I'm gonna be honest. I might just be caping for Eric because I just like him. But and I really don't like Chris. However, so he says to Chris, like, you really got to show up for her, like, you really got to take care of her, whatever the case may be. And in true Chris fashion, so he said, I am, but y'all got to mind your business. And this is when all the guys are talking. So then fast forward to the group outing, and they go like on the little buggies or whatever the case may be, which seemed relatively cool, but I was worried about Eric and Virginia because they are alcoholics.
Yeah.
Or Virginia's an alcoholic, and
Eric is a temporary one, trying to keep up.
And the girls, Clara and Virginia, actually sit down and have a conversation with Chris, which I thought was, first of all, I thought it was forced.
Why are they having a conversation?
It was absolutely positively forced.
1000%. Production. We gotta channel more energy towards production in this season, y'all.
This is less, because it can't be everybody.
We can't be coming down on all of the couples and the individual persons in this show. A lot of issues that we're all having with this season is 100% related to production.
And you're absolutely right. I felt like the whole scene was forced. I felt like you spoke on this earlier about them saying like, oh, that wouldn't be me. I would have left you by now. I thought that was.
What kind of constructive conversation can you have when you come at somebody like that?
And you're absolutely right. And I thought it was just like, and y'all could have genuinely felt like unsupportive of him. Like, let's be clear. You could have genuinely felt that way, but I felt like it was just like extra. And it's so fascinating to me, and this is where Clara gets back on my shit list. It's so fascinating to me that her and Virginia went and spoke to him about that mess, but then she talking about how Virginia poked a bear. You was sitting there too, like the way you just did what you did, and hit your hands.
Everything she said.
I mean, every single thing.
Oh yeah, I would have left you too, right, Virginia? Like
it was such a Karen thing to do.
It was 1,000% a Karen thing to do.
It was so disgusting to me, and it was even worse to me than Virginia, because Virginia ain't come at it like, well, Clara started the conversation. She kept going.
You got caught and then started throwing people under the bus, which is also a very Karen thing to do.
Exactly. And also another Karen thing to do, and this is not to cape for the bull, because I really don't want to do that. But even though I this narrative and these microaggressions, Eric did it too. And y'all know I like Eric, but he did it too. When everybody is speaking, okay, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. So, Clara speaks about Chris, like, oh, he's already an angry man. And then you're going to make you're going to post this bear and make this angry man a very, very angry man. We already know that, to me, and then you guys let me know if I'm wrong, that's already, to me, like a dog whistle or like a
yes, it is
microaggression about, like, black men being big and angry and this and that.
And black women. You can't show emotion because you're angry.
Right.
You're an angry black woman. You're an angry black man.
We can't be happy. We have emotions.
Because Chris was talking to them. Chris now, was Chris wrong? We're going to get to how wrong he was.
We're going to get to how wrong he was.
But when the conversation started, Chris was talking just like this.
Yes, he was.
With 6 feet apart distance, socially distance himself on the little golf cart. Yeah, I think y'all should stay out of my business. He was so angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't go there. And he did get matter-of-factly. I appreciate a matter-of-factly person, because sometimes you gotta say it with a measured tone so people understand that you mean business. Now he goes over to Paige, and the women are talking to Paige, and he goes to say something to Virginia, like, I told y'all, get out my white face. And Eric says, they're friends. Like, let them have their conversation. He was like, they ain't friends. That's my wife. He started, to me, getting a little bit extra. And then he says, and we didn't hear this on the first one, but I listened to it when I was watching it the second time. He says, I'm about to get on this bus and turn up. Like, he said he was about to get on there. And that's when he pissed me the hell off. Because my thing is, if you were genuinely... He could have been mad, right? Don't get me mad. Don't get me upset.
He was mad when the thing is
it was piling up.
Yeah, because the conversation over by the bench with Paige did not surprise me, because it was visible that he was suppressing his anger when he was talking to them at this monotone voice while they was having a conversation on the golf cart, and they was steady telling him that I would have left you if it was me. So it was very clear that he was annoyed then, right? So after he asked them, you need to leave my relationship out your mouth, worry about you, stop doing X, Y, and Z. And then, Virginia walks over to the bench, and we later come to find out that Virginia is a very intentional Karen. She likes to poke. That's the one thing that Clara was right about. She does like to poke and then clutch her pearls like most Karens will love to do. I can't believe somebody would speak to me that way. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she went over there to do it. She did it again at the table. Let's get shots, Paige. Like, I
kind of like that energy. It's toxic.
No. But, not from the Karens, though.
No. It's toxic, but...
So I wasn't surprised at what happened at the park bench, because it was like, okay.
I wasn't even mad at him for that. Like, what bothered me was that, one, I don't like for us to show up in spaces.
Yeah, 100%.
And everybody else look like they trying to diffuse it and turned up. It's like, Like, to me, they done said so many things to you that makes it very evident to me that they judging you on a whole a litany of
which
things,
is
right?
So as life.
But even for her to say, like, if anybody was going to have a baby, I would assume it would be Chris. And it just is like, why? Why? Eric was married before. Why wouldn't it be Eric? Like, even those little things, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of, and not to say that he gotta act a certain way in front of, you know, because it'll make him look better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, as a man, you can't control yourself. And even for you to say out your mouth, I'm about to get on here and do boom, 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 that's real bitch made to me. I really do not like men like that. I don't like men that want to turn up in women's face. I think it's so, and not to say that there isn't a population of women, because I know what y'all about to say, that won't turn up on you. But I'm saying, the way he turned up was not like he just was doing bitch shit. Like, you wasn't really about to do nothing. You just wanted to get on the bus, yell, holler, scream, stomp your feet, and clap your hands.
Yeah, I think it was...
That was whack, because you made it the wrong person. You got a baby. And now everybody know, and you want them to pretend like they don't. And that's whack to me. My thing is living your truth. How you going to be mad at them? Because you was dicking hoes down, making babies and shit like that, and then you got one and you married. You look like the nut. They will never... The problem is that no matter what the situation is, they will never look like nuts. Because you've been a nut. Like, you know what I mean? Right. That's where it's whack to me.
I think it's twofold, and I think two things could be true. I think Chris was wrong at how he turned up, but I also think that both the Karens was wrong for what they did.
And I also think that a matter-of-factly tone was necessary.
Yeah.
But if you think, I don't give a damn what I say, if you think I'm going to be... I wouldn't go that far as they was going. I want to be clear. But if I'm being in a space with my man and we don't feel like it's necessary he don't feel like it's necessary to check you, you could say less to me and he gonna say something. You know what I mean? So even the way he was acting, it was like, what do you want? Because if somebody turn up on you, what the fuck you gonna do?
Who?
You a whole business owner, which also makes me think, are you really a business owner? Beyonce's sister was kicking her man ass in a goddamn elevator with cameras, and that bitch stood in the corner because she knew I am $1 billion enterprise. If I turn up the way I... I'm gonna let Solange do her thing for the both of us. And I'm gonna keep it moving. You're not even thinking like a businessman. Like, that's why all this stuff is starting to look real shady, fake, and phony to me. Then, so that's all I'm saying. But after that, they go back to dinner. I'm also tired of Jesus Christ and how y'all doing him. And I'm just gonna leave that I'm just gonna put that there. They go to dinner.
Wait, no, not tired of Jesus.
I am. Y'all wearing him out. Nice and thin. Okay, like a rag. Like an old nasty rag you wipe the floor up with. Y'all wearing Jesus Christ.
Who you talking about?
I'm talking about Chris and Paige. Yeah. So we get to dinner. And you want to talk about dinner and how he apologizes and all that mess?
Oh, well, they get to dinner and he basically, is apologizing for everything we just talked about. How we say he was wrong about doing this and how he handled it. He apologized for all of that. Everything we just talked about, he apologized.
But she laid her hands on him and prayed for him. The way the devil will bring the Lord into something is the most fascinating thing to me.
That's not the issue here. The issue
The issue here I just think he the devil. Go ahead, baby.
He apologized for all of that stuff.
Right.
And then he was very poignant in what he was apologizing for.
Yes, he was. And that means he was apologetic. I do believe that. In the tail end of his apology, Eric comes in. And the minute he walked in, I told her, I said, oh, this is about to go left. They made him late on purpose. They probably told him.
No, they always late. They're always late. You know what I'm saying?
Late. But I wanted to blame it on production.
It might be a production thing, though, at this point in the game. But Eric walked in, and I just knew it was about to go left because Eric struck me as the person. Like, you ever... something happened to you that happens that I kind of out of the clear blue sky that it happened so fast you couldn't even react to it, and then you at home stewing like, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah,
that was Eric to me.
That was Eric.
Eric came back like, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell him that.
He probably
and
was
it was
really
the wrong time because it was over. The plane had landed. This was the kumbaya moment, and I knew it was gonna boil over because I felt like Eric was in that place of this one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show him. And it felt like Chris was in a place of vulnerability and like, you know, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna apologize, you know, but I'm still really low key mad about this.
Though, but this is why I thought it was a bit disingenuous. If I did something in the group, the person that you were actually talking to is not sitting.
They weren't there though.
No, it doesn't. But y'all had a dinner plan, so you had time to sit, wait for everybody to come, and then say your piece. I thought that it was. I think that we gotta stop. We gotta give people the respect they deserve.
Y'all late. That's
no. You was talking to my wife. How is on me? If you want to apologize, Neil, I gotta say. If I come to dinner and somebody say something to him a certain way.
If you missed my apology to the group, I don't care. He was apologizing to the group.
No, and he specifically apologized to Clara and Ryan.
Because they were there.
But my thing, what I'm getting at is, and maybe Eric didn't give him enough time to apologize to him. So they're in the hotel and he speaks to her about the joint account thing too. And how he doesn't want to like share accounts with his wife. It's just like so... To your point earlier, you're speaking to how he's trying to like say all the wrong things so she can make the right decision. But I feel like
Chris is trying to get her to break up with him. That's what he's trying to do.
And it's just not up for debate. That is absolutely positively true. But I do think that in him doing that, he looks like a F-boy. Even if he's not, he's definitely giving F-boy vibes. And I really, and I'm saying that only because he's doing things that I feel are disrespectful and could potentially mess with her self-esteem, get it even lower than what it is right now. And
I think Chris is doing a lot of things that he planned with his fiance. So I think this whole situation was talked about and discussed with him and the fiance about how he was gonna go in and tell her. I think Chris expected her to leave a long time ago. I think Chris expected her to leave when he told her about the baby. She didn't leave. And so now I think he's up in the ante to try to get her to leave, because I think in his mind, he is not all the way aware of how he's coming off already. And I think he thinks that if he just stays in and looks like he was dedicated to the process, that he can make it out of this unscathed. If he just looks like he went through the process, he was dedicated, he was up front with her, blah, 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 blah. And I think he wants to leave, but I think he wants her to make leave. That decision for him.
And to your point, I do think that he wants her to make that decision for him. But I also think that she got to be the dumbest bitch on earth. And I mean that, like, I have never seen anything like this unfold. And the issue I'm having,
I can't believe that she's still there.
Like, genuinely. And I think the bigger issue I'm having is that, like, I can't believe... The problem I have is that I have an issue with him, right? But I can't have the big issue that I want to have with him because she won't leave. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think he thought she would have been left.
But I'm thinking, does he have like redeeming qualities we don't know about behind closed doors?
Well, that could be too. Like, we've seen, this is not the first time, and that's what I'm saying. This is not the first time that we've seen somebody, you know, put on for the cameras or try to save, in their mind, try to save their persona with the cameras, right?
Yeah.
We went through a whole season where the ball player bull was not even there when they weren't on camera. But when he was on camera, he was, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is
he didn't have a T-shirt at their house.
That at all. She said the next time, the only time I see him is when we filming. And I'm saying that we seeing the same thing again right now with Chris trying to maneuver, and I think in his mind he thinks, oh, I'm killing it. I'm maneuvering this thing.
He really probably did.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying he's killing it. Let's be clear, because I need to be clear. I'm saying I think in his mind he feels like, oh, I'm running circles around her.
But do you think that that's why because after talking about this, right, and just thinking about something, do you think that that's why he turned up on Eric and them, because he wanted to show her, like, I'm crazy, I'm out of here, like, you don't
I think he turned up on Eric and them I think he turned up on Eric and them because he is genuine. I think he was genuinely in a space where he was vulnerable and he was already a little bit on edge, and then it was the perfect storm to me.
Yeah, because he's probably tired of being here, and he's probably like, I can't believe I still got to do this and defend myself to people and everything. And maybe to your point, he is a better man with his ex-fiance or whatever the case may be, even though he said himself that they ain't together because they didn't trust each other, whatever the case may be.
But there's also an added thing of, you know, there with the couples, right? There's this added thing of like the constant commentary on you know, whatever happens between you and yours is really supposed to be between you and yours. Now we watch it on TV, but also Paige and Chris is not a throuple. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I can understand somebody being like, you stay over there. You know what I mean? What we got going on is what we got going on. I can understand the frustration of somebody walking up to you and saying and commenting on your stuff. This show ain't even out yet, so they still in the mind frame of I'm in this relationship with one person, not 1.3 million persons.
How about that? But does that say something about him? Well, I was gonna say that the other people in the cast have feelings about him and who he is, or could that just be? It's only really Clara in Virginia, so I guess that doesn't really say anything. Because I'm thinking like, you know, if everybody got a opinion,
it's just the Karens.
It's just the Karens. But I do think that, like, I mean, I don't want to let him off like scot free, because I really do feel like
he's not
something in his spirit does not sit well with me, and I mean that respectfully.
Well, the way that he's handling this is wrong, and I guess we got to say it multiple times for everybody. The way that he's handling it is wrong, but we can analyze other things that are happening and still be able to talk about those things without endorsing Chris's behavior. I think people are complex human beings. There are multiple things at play here. And I think
nobody's not saying, I don't think anybody's saying that.
I think people do say that. I think people online say it, people in Twitter say it, in the Twitterverse, people in the comments say it. Like, it's like you can't criticize something else or another area if without like endorsing something else. If it seems like,
well, yeah, you don't want to. I understand what you're saying, because you don't want it to come off like you're. That's why words mean things. You don't want it to come off like you're not holding somebody accountable for whatever actions they display, right? But at the same time, people are complex human beings, and he might be doing it for whatever reason that he doing it, or whatever the case may be. But the reality is that I feel like it's what do they call that? Smoke, or where there's smoke, there's fire. Something about his spirit ain't right, and I mean that in the same way that I feel.
And
about
two
Claire.
Things could be true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's all I'm saying.
But if there's definitely with each couple, there's more than what's on the surface there. With each couple, there's definitely some layer. There's layers to everybody.
But I think the issue I'm having, and the problem is that I might be more mad at him because Paige ain't. So I'm overcompensating, because to me, I can't understand how this young woman continues to show up in spaces and like and call it religion, call it Christianity, call it God, call it whatever. And the Lord wouldn't want you to feel this way, not experience love in this manner. It would never be this hard, at least not at the beginning. You might get thrown a few curveballs or whatever the case may be, but I can't believe you believe that you would have to endure this after you've been a loyal servant for however many years. I can't believe that you believe that. And it makes me so upset and emotional, because I really genuinely do not understand what the F is going on with her. It is the scariest thing I've ever seen a woman go through.
I think it's just low self-esteem.
I mean,
when you know your worth, you don't deal with stuff like this.
But I don't even think, I think low self-esteem is too light of a word. You know how like they say like, oh, like, low self-esteem feel like love to hate. Like, yeah, oh, I hate you, when. But if you tell them, I could, like, you don't even cross my mind. That's a different kind of like, I ain't dealing with you. Like, you don't exist. You know what I mean? The self-esteem It's at the lava. Where is it at, sis? You would deal with him, and the man sat up in the bed with you. Sat up while he was packing and told you that he was in love with somebody else and that he didn't want another man raising his child. And you got an attitude, walked away, came back. Then he said, well, I do feel spiritually attracted to you now. And you smile.
Yeah,
that's all it took.
That's low self-esteem.
It's heartbreaking. And I don't know if you guys as women are watching it and just like, and I very rarely use the word pity, right? Because I think that's a harsh word too, like to pity somebody. I genuinely pity this young woman. Like, I genuinely am having a very, very hard time with this because it's making it uncomfortable to watch. Because I want to go out there and tell all the little black girls that y'all fly, y'all smart, y'all funny, you beautiful. And here we are seeing this depiction of such a wonderful woman who just cannot see the forest for the trees and will blame it on Jesus Christ himself. Jesus Christ is sitting somewhere like, nah, sis.
Yeah. A smarter, more secure woman would have been walked away by now.
The moment he sat up and told you, after you said you was going to be a bonus parent, that dog, you can't have a joint account, whatever, you should have known that. It's too many. You should have known on your
wedding day when he told you that he started talking about his ex and their tattoos.
Boom. You asked the man where he got the tattoo from. Now I'm not saying that he didn't have to tell you. All he had to say, I got this on
everything that's why I'm saying everything that he's doing it seems intentional to me.
It's breaking my goddamn heart. And if that's what he's intentionally trying to do, I take issue with that.
Well, yeah, because it's definitely wrong. But it's just clear that it's just that.
Clear to us.
So I think my attitude towards it is that this is the same stuff for weeks now. This is episode 5 or 6, and to me, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything new, and I think that's what it is. Like, my attitude towards it is that, like, he hasn't done anything new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this is the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? On day 1. He leaves the altar and tells you that you're not cute, and he wants to talk about his fiance.
And then say it in front of all
Nothing
his
changed.
Friends. But then the way he objectifies her body, you will tell her to her face that she not a good looking woman, but then objectify her body, and she okay with that. Y'all not heartbroken? That don't hurt y'all? That like really? And I'm an empath, so part of this is that I'm a chocolate girl. I told you all the time. I probably said it to you guys. I feel like I got ugly duckling syndrome. So when I feel like, not that anybody has ever really called me ugly or anything like that. Not that anybody's ever called me that. But people kind of say stuff that make you feel a way. And me and you had this conversation. And I feel like the fact that she's going through this is upsetting to me. Because it's like, this man in one breath said you weren't good looking. Complimented your body. Affirm that you're not good looking by saying, I think I'm spiritually attracted to you now. I'm not physically attracted to you. You still ugly. But, okay, our spirits are aligned. So, I guess we're okay. But he only said that to save face. Because she came in there hot and heavy. Like, I ain't going to be able to do this. What the F is going on?
And he been saving face for 6 weeks. That's my point.
But my thing is, this is where I want to push back. That was the opportunity for him to double down. He didn't double down.
What you mean?
I'm saying that she was like, she literally says, I'm done. I'm over this. I can't do it, right? Comes back, sits on the bed. He says all the stuff that he say to make it okay.
He's not going to double down because he got it. That's the whole trick. Is push and pull, push and pull.
But I'm saying if he would have doubled down on it, she might have made it.
In his mind, doubling down would have been too far. He trying to be covert with all this. And this is my philosophy. He's trying to be covert in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the kid who thinks they're sneaking their hand into a cookie jar, but they in the middle of the living room and everybody in there. Like, he thinks he's slick and he thinks that he's going to do this and play these games or whatever. But in reality, it's not coming off that way. And he's trying to he thinks that he's finessing it. That's what it's coming off to me, like he thinks he's finessing it.
Okay. Which he definitely does. Let's be clear. Even the way he talked to her, like he already know, and
because in person he is. In person he is finessing her. We're not there. Everybody that's watching isn't in the room.
Watching it.
But
right.
when he says one thing to her and then smiles at her and
he's
says,
finessing.
He is finessing her.
But I don't understand why she don't see. it's bothering me is what I'm getting at. And it's really making me uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to watch. And I feel like they are going to do damage to this young woman, production included, that I don't know if she's going to be able to get past this. Because she's making herself ugly during this show. Her lack of self-respect and self-worth is affirming for us that she is ugly. She said just by her actions, because there's a lot of ugly girls, or I hate ugly, but there's a lot of unattractive women by everybody else's standards that have boundaries and demand respect and have standards. Mm-hmm. What's very clear.
Yeah, this is a lack of standards.
You have no standards. You don't think a man is supposed to do anything but smile and talk about your fat ass, and it's very sad. It is sad. And we watched it, and it might be more to it or whatever, but I'm like, I'm mad at her. I'm more mad at her than I am at him.
She should have been left to me. She should have left in week, what's that, 1? In week 2 at the honeymoon. At the table.
She's stupid like the day is long. And I really pray for her, and somebody need to go over there and talk to her mama, because she did not raise her up right. And I mean that respectfully. Ain't no reason in the world. Somebody need to go tell that baby she beautiful and she ain't got to put up with this mess. And that's that on that. I really don't got nothing else to give. What about you, babe?
That's it.
Thank you guys for joining us. All right? And we'll see you beautiful mugs later. Bye. Bye.